Right, 8.4, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Basically, we're just going to multiply and divide really, really complicated fractions. So first we need to know what it means to simplify. Usually what does that mean? Yeah, make smaller. Um, so in our case, we're looking for 1, so we need to reduce 1s. So if I had something like to simplify 2 over 2, that would be 1. If I simplified 2 times 4 over 2, well, that is 8 over 2, which is equal to 4. I can also reduce it a different way. If I cross out the 2's, I can also reduce and just get 4. So I'm reducing 1's. However, the round 1's need to be multiplication. So if I have something like 5 plus 1 over 5, can I cross out, let's see, that would actually be 6 over 5, and I simplified. But if I crossed out the 5's, I would just get 1. So which answer is correct? 6 over 5, good job. All right, so let me see if I can make 1 again and have it be right this time. What about 4 plus 1 over 4? That's going to be 5/4, but I also can possibly cross out the 4's and get 1 again. So which answer is correct? 5 over 4, good job. So I can't cross out the 4's, and I can't cross out the 5's because I don't have any multiplication, I have addition. So let's see what happens. What if I do 4 times 2 over 4? If I cross out the 4's, I'm going to get 2. Is that still the case? See, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that does work out. So the moral of the story is if I have multiplication, I can cross something out. And then let's figure out what 1's are. So 1's, because they're going to look a little different with rational expressions. So x over x is 1. Also, x plus 3 over x plus 3, that's also equal to 1. You can't cross out the x's, and you can't cross out the 3's because of the plus, but you can cross out all of this x plus 3 with all of this x plus 3. And so when you cross both of them out, you have a 1. If I have x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x squared plus 4x plus 4, I don't have any 1's yet. I can't cross out the x squareds or the x's, or I can't reduce 6 and 4 because I don't have any 1's. I need some multiplication. So if I had something like this, I have x plus 5 over x minus 1, all divided by x minus 1, and x plus 10. Now I think I can cross something out. What can I cross out? Good, x minus 1 with x minus 1. I can cross the whole factor out. So what's left on top is x plus 5 and x plus 10. Can I cross out the x's? Okay, I can't cross out the x's. Good job. Why can't I? Because of the plus sign. If it was a minus sign, it would be the same case. So that is my final answer. It's finally simplified. There's nothing else I can do. All right. Okay. So, and then we need to figure out how to multiply fractions. So this is just basically what I went over. So this is in the book if you want something. But we need to create multiplication. So look at 15 and 65. We've got 3 times 5 and 13 times 5. Since it's all multiplied, I can cross out the 5's like they did. And then the other example, x plus 3 over x plus 3, I can cross out those. That technically is a 1. And then my final answer is 4 over x minus 5. So same idea. Okay, so if you think you got the hang of it, go ahead and pause it right now and simplify it. All right, can I cross out the x squareds? No, good job. All right, so I need to create some multiplication. How on earth could I create multiplication? Factoring, good job. So if you need a little review on factoring, please go to the factoring video. If not, use the best method. If you can do it by guess and check, that would be excellent. But when we factor this, we're going to get x minus 5 and x plus 3, right? And then Clinton's magic, review that. If you want to write the factors, 1 and 15, 3 and 5, 1 and 1, 1x and 1x, and you're looking for something that adds up to -2, so that would be a -5 and a +3. So that would be that. All right, and then the denominator would be x minus 3 over x plus 3. Okay, so now, does anybody see any ones? Good job. The x plus 3's can cross out. So this crosses out, this whole factor crosses out with this whole factor. And my final answer is just x minus 5 over x minus 3. That's it. There's nothing else I can do. I can't cross out the x's or anything like that. All right, so let's look at our favorite type of problem, a word problem. All right, so pause it, see what you can do with that. All right, so we want to figure out the surface area and volume of each tin. So the surface area, let's see, so this will be the old tin. All right, so the old tin, our surface area is going to be, well, we need the top and bottom, the area of the top and bottom. So the area of the top and bottom is S times S. So 2 of those, and then we have 4 sides, and the area of each side is S times H. So 4SH. Okay. The area, this will be our new tin. The area of the new tin, surface area, same idea. So we still have the bottom and the top. The area is S squared, so we need 2 of those. So 2S squared. And then our area, now our area of the sides are, they're a lot bigger. They doubled the height. So it's going to be 4 plus 4 and then S times 2H. Okay. So if I simplify that, that's going to be 2S squared plus 8SH. Right? And then our volume, remember our volume is length times width times height. So the volume of the old tin is going to be S squared times the height. The volume of the new tin is going to be, the base is S squared times the height of 2H. Okay, so simplify that a little bit and we get 2S squared H. Now we want to compare the ratios. So we want to calculate the ratio of surface area to volume for each tin. So we're going to just do S over V and calculate that. So for the old tin, S over V is equal to 2S squared plus 4SH, and that's all divided by S squared H. Okay. All right, so is there anything we could simplify there? Now it's a plus sign, so I can't simplify, I can't cross out the S squareds or the H, but I could create some multiplication. So is there a common factor between 2S squared and 4SH? 2S, good job, right? So if I factor out 2S, I'm going to get S plus 2H. Okay. And then I've got S. So just rewrite that to make it easier. But I can't cancel out this S because that's a fact that has a plus sign by it. But I can factor out these 2 S's. Right? So the surface area to volume is going to be 2 times S plus 2H over SH. Okay, so now let's calculate the ratio for the new tin. Right. So surface area is going to be 2S squared plus 8SH over 2s squared h. Okay, I can't reduce anything right now, but I could create some multiplication. So what's common between 2s squared and 8sh? 2s, good job. So if I factor out a 2s, I'm going to get s plus 4h. And to make it easier on myself, I will have 2s times sh. Okay. And then this can cross out, so these two s's can cross out. And then I'm left with s plus 4h over sh. Okay. All right, and if I multiply this back in, now I can compare them. So this is going to be 2s plus 4h again, just so I can have something to compare. All divided by sh. All right. So I've got this one and this one. I've got the old tin and the new tin. And which one is greater? Well, this has 2 times the surface area. So this is greater in that side. Right. They both have the same positive denominator, so the ratio of surface area is greater for the old tin because this is 2 times that. So the old tin is less efficient than the new tin, which is probably why they made a new tin in the first place. Okay, but that's basically how you do those. So here, number 1, you already have multiplication. Number 2, you need multiplication, so please don't cross anything out until you factor out some greatest common factors. Number 3, we can talk about that, but 4, 5, and 6, make sure you factor, and then we'll talk about number 7 as well tomorrow. All right, the next part is multiplying. So when we multiply, you guys are getting really good at this. We've had a bunch of examples. So when we multiply, make sure we multiply across. So multiply the top with the top and the bottom with the bottom. All right, and when we multiply with rational expressions, if you're a step person, this is for you. First, we're going to factor. Then we are going to search and destroy the ones. Okay. Best video game ever, search and destroy ones. And then we're not going to bother multiplying everything back together, we're just going to squish it together. Okay, so don't waste your time remultiplying. All right, and so that's what we're going to do. So let's look at example 3. Okay, everything is already factored, it's already multiplied. So we can start crossing things off right away. However, if you don't want to make a mistake, we can break this down. So this is going to be, I can break down 8x cubed to 4 times 2 times 3 x's and a y, all divided by 2x and 2 y's. Okay? And then, let's see, the top I can break down as 7 and 4 x's and 3 y's. And then the bottom is just going to be 4 times y. Okay. Now, some people think you have to multiply or reduce straight across. However, if you have, let's see, if you have 1 y on the bottom and 1 y on the top anywhere, it doesn't have to be straight across the fraction, those can cancel out. Also, I can cancel out that y with this y. I can cancel out this y in the bottom with 1 y in the top. Okay. And then let's see, what about the x's? I can cancel one x with this x, and either one would have been fine. So I could cancel out the bottom x with this x, any of these x's, and then I can also cancel out, let's see, this 4 with this 4, and these 2's can cancel out, right? So what we have left I usually circle what we have left, so we have 2x's here and all of this left, and then multiply that back together. So I have 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's, which means it's x to the 6th and y. So our answer is B. Okay. You could have done that a lot faster, but sometimes things get missing. So if you want to make sure you got the right answer, write it all out and then search and destroy. Okay, for example 4, we need to multiply, but first we need to create some factoring. We need to create some multiplication. I can't cross out these x squareds. That would be bad because of the plus signs. So we need to factor 3x minus 3x squared. What is the greatest common factor there? Okay, 3x, good job. And then inside, if there's nothing left, it's 3x times 1. So make sure that 1's there, and then minus x. All right, if you can do the rest all by your lonesome, please pause it, try it, and then search and destroy. That's the fun part. All right, if you don't, let's see, we have x plus 5 and x minus 1. Again, if you need help factoring, go to that video, or do Clinton's magic, write down your factors, and then let's see, when the top one factors into x plus 5 and x minus 4, and then 3x. Okay, now the fun part. Now we get to search and destroy. So what ones do we have? We have an x plus 5 on the bottom with an x plus 5 on the top. We have 3x. We have a 3x there. So those cross out. And so my answer so far is 1 minus x. Again, I'm going to squish it together. So I squish the top ones together, and on the bottom is just x minus 1. But notice you have 1 minus x and x minus 1. So they're kind of the same thing, except they're opposite signs. So if we took this and factored out a negative 1, then we would have, if I factor out a negative 1, I'm going to have a negative 1 plus x. And I can even rewrite that. So this is from the top. I can have negative 1 and then write x minus 1. Okay. And then I have x minus 4 and then over x minus 1. So now I have the same thing. So I have an x minus 1 and x minus 1. So my final answer, again, I can squish it together. That would be fine, or I can distribute the negative. So that's a good answer, or negative x plus 4 is also a good answer. So if you did this all by your lonesome and you got to this point right here, good job. All right, so pause this, try this one all by your lonesome. The more you can do on your own, the better. So even if you're totally lost, just try to factor it and then watch the video. But let's see, x plus 2 stays there. X cubed minus 27, that is the difference of cubes. So remember that's a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Alright, so we need to figure out what's being cubed for x and figure out what's being cubed for 27. Alright, so hopefully you said x and 3, and that's going to be a and b. Alright, so then we have, in our formula, we have x minus 3 times x squared, and then we're going to multiply those two together, and it's opposite signs, so plus 3x, and then plus 9. Alright, and then right at the top, if you notice, we have the same thing, so we have x squared plus 3x plus 9, and those do not factor. But I have one on top and one on the bottom, so I can cross the whole thing out with this whole thing. Right? Those factors cancel out, reduce to 1, and then I have x plus 2 over x minus 3. Can I cancel out the x's? Nope, good job. So that's my final answer. Alright, so on the guided practice, factor, factor, factor. 8, just, search and destroy. Write them out what they mean and then search and destroy. And then division. What is different about division? Great. Copy dot flip. Okay, so let's take this example. Right. So I have 7 over x plus 1 divided by x plus 2 over 2x minus 3. Right? So same idea as regular fractions. I'm going to copy the first fraction, and then I'm going to turn the division into a multiplication sign, and then flip it. So I have 2x minus 3 over x plus 2. Right? And then I just squish it together because I actually don't have anything that cancels out. So this is going to become 7 times 2x minus 3, all divided by x plus 1 over x plus 2. Right? That's a fine answer right there. So just squish it together just like we did for multiplication. All right, so for this one, copy, dot, flip, and then if you can do the rest all by your lonesome, you have this section down. So, all right, so go ahead and pause it, try it, you can do it. So we have 7x over 2x minus 10. And then I'm going to flip the other one. So I have x squared minus 11x plus 30. And then on the bottom, it's going to be x squared minus 6x. All right. So then we've got, then I'm going to see what factors. So let's see, I have 7x, and then 2 and 10 have a GCF of 2, so I'm going to factor that out, and that's all I can do there. The top factors into x minus 5 times x minus 6, and then the bottom, see that you're always looking for a GCF when you factor, so keep that in mind. And then sometimes once you factor out the GCF, you're done. So x squared minus 6x has a GCF of what? Good, x, and then inside we get x minus 6. So there's nothing left to factor. And then search and destroy. So we have x minus 6 with x minus 6. As long as one's on top and one's on bottom anywhere, you can reduce that. So this x minus 5 is on top, and this x minus 5 is in the bottom of a different fraction. That's okay, because it's all multiplication. And then this x can cancel out with this x. And then our final answer is just 7 over 2. So we leave it as 7 over 2. Okay, so you try this one. Try it, pause it, you can do it. Just try it. Okay. So we're going to copy the first one, turn that into a multiplication sign, and flip the second one. So I have 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 divided by 2x squared minus 11x plus 5. Okay. So when we factor, let's just do a side problem. So for the 2x squared minus 5x plus 2, if you don't remember Clinton's magic, see, we're going to multiply. We want something that multiplies to 4x squared, but adds up to negative 5x, and then we put 2x and 2x right here, I believe. And then what multiplies to 4 but adds up to negative 5? And that would be the negative 1 and negative 4, I believe. All right. And then we reduce 2 and 4 to get x over negative 2. And so for Clinton's magic, it would be 2x minus 1 times x minus 2. If you write your factors, then let's go over here, write our factors. So same factoring problem. So we write our factors of 1x and 2x, and 1 and 2. And we need something that is going to multiply to, or adds up to negative 5. And we have a positive 2 in back, but a negative in the middle, so both of these need to be negative. And then the ones that work is straight across. So we have negative 1x and negative 4x. And when you write your factors, it's the opposite of Clinton, so careful. We have x and 2x. 2's got to get hooked up with the negative 2, so that's in the opposite parentheses, and then the minus 1. Okay, so either way you come out with the factoring, but just be careful. Okay, so I made a second copy of the problem and moved it down here. So we're going to rewrite x minus 5 since there's nothing to factor. And then 9x squared minus 18x. What's the GCF there? 9, and then what else? Good, 9x. All right, so we have x minus 2. All right, and then we factor the top, and that's going to be x minus 2 times 2x minus 1. And our other factoring is going to be, let's see, we have 2x and x. That's going to be minus 5 and minus 1. All right, so to factor this one, if you need help, check out the one we did. Either use Clinton's magic or write your factors. And you should be able to find it. If you're having more trouble factoring, please go back and watch the factoring video. Okay, all right, so search and destroy. What destroys? X minus 2 with x minus 2. Good job. What else? 2x minus 1. Those reduce. And x minus 5. All right, awesome. So all I have left is 9x. So my question is it 9x or is it 1 over 9x? Which one could it be? Okay, well, technically I'm reducing by ones. So this is, on the top, it's 1 times 1 times 1. So this is our final answer. So 1 over 9x. 9x has to stay in the denominator. Okay, so if you knew that already, good job. And our last one, stay with me. Again, pause it if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, pause it anyways and try it. Okay, we talked about interval training. This is interval training. So pause, try it, and then watch this part. All right, so when we factor, we're going to factor the top, and so this one factors, the top factors into 3x plus 5 times 2x minus 3, and then 4x squared. And then I'm going to flip the other one, so it's going to be 1 over that. Is there any common factors? X, good job. So I'm going to factor x out, and then inside I have 3x plus 5. All right, favorite part, search and destroy. So I can destroy 3x plus 5 and 3x plus 5. Can I destroy an x right there with an x right there? No, I can't. Why not? They're both on the bottom. Good job. All right, so I can't destroy anything else. So I just squish together what I have. So let's see, 1 times 2x minus 3 is just 2x minus 3. And 4x squared times x is going to be 4x cubed. And that's all I can do. I can't reduce 2 and 4. I can't reduce x's because I don't have any more factors. So I am done there. So here is the rest of your guided practice, and I will see you tomorrow.